Welcome to Social Media Talks podcasts, brought to you by compassmedia.ie.
Hello and thank you for joining me. This is the Social Media Talks podcast, brought to you by compassmedia.ie. I'm your host, Alan Hennessy, and this is the podcast to help business owners understand social media marketing. On today's show, we are going to be talking to Andy Lambert, the director and co-founder of ContentCal. What is ContentCal? It's a social media and content planning tool to help businesses be more productive on social media. So without further ado, I think we will transition straight over into the interview with Andy. So Andy, how are you today?
I'm very well, thanks Alan. Thanks for having me on the show.
How are you? I know you're in East London. How is the weather there today?
Very rainy today, Alan. Very rainy. So typical British summer's day, sadly, but all good. But I'm feeling good.
Very good.
Excited to be on.
Lovely stuff. Thanks for joining us. We're delighted to have you on, and we have been looking at the actual social media and content planning tool. Yeah, it is really fantastic. So you might tell us a little bit about yourself, a little bit of a background on yourself.
Yeah, a very short bit of background on me. So I'm a copywriter by background, and my first business that I created was grown via social media, and from that moment I've been hooked on social. Yeah, flip forward the clock about 10 years and a couple of business failures and success later. I partnered up with a couple of my fellow co-founders who had started a social media agency. So at that time, doing social media copy on behalf of a number of clients. So doing the content planning, doing the content strategy, and writing the social media content for a number of big brands. So it's just these brands had no time to write that social media content. And in the process of building that agency, we had some real issues in terms of how we were going to scale that business. Because for every single client you bring on, you end up having to recruit more staff. So essentially, long story short, essentially it becomes a very difficult thing to scale. So we needed to get a bit of technology that helped the whole workflow of content creation and publishing to happen a lot faster. We couldn't find the right technology to use. So about 18 months ago, we built it. And within 6 months, we thought actually the product that we called ContentCal, initially we were using it just for ourselves at the agency, but then we thought actually we think this product is the future of us as a business. So at the beginning of this year, we've kind of transitioned into being a software as a service company and launched ContentCal onto the world. So that's where we're at, really.
Fantastic. That's really good. And of course, you have a fairly strong team as well, because I know that there's in around about 20 people in the office there. So never a dull moment, I would say, in the office as well.
Yeah, definitely not. It's an interesting transition, and we still do we still do social media on behalf of a number of clients, but it's a very interesting transition, taking a business from writing social media content into one that provides a platform to allow others to do it. It's a definite culture change, that's for sure.
Yeah, but I suppose on the other side of that is, of course, then you have that backup of you know what the problems are, you know what it is that people are looking for, and the problems and the issues that they're running into. So it gives you a very good basis to explore what you can do with, of course, with the platform that you have.
Yeah, I mean that's exactly it, and I think it's one of the nicest things that was said about our product. It was from someone at Microsoft, one of the heads of social at Microsoft. They said to me, "This is a platform that feels like it's been designed by social media managers for social media managers." Yeah, therein, in that single sentence, encapsulated everything that we set out to do.
Yeah, and I would totally agree. We use it now ourselves here in the office, and it's just and don't take this the wrong way, but it's just so simple, but it's so effective. It really is. It's it's a really strong product, and there's a great backup service, and then there's so much you can do with it. So you might tell us a little bit about what it is that ContentCal can do. And we'll, obviously we'll not be able to see it, but you can go obviously on the website, which is contentcal.io for more details. But you might give us an idea of what it is the product actually can do.
Yeah, absolutely. So the main focus behind it is to use your word, and simple is a great thing. It's often lost in technology these days. So the whole idea is to make the whole concept of planning and publishing content incredibly simple. So if you're a one-man band, it's always incredibly challenging to get out social media content because you have priorities of winning more business, paying bills, making sure money comes in. Everyone knows that social media is a good thing, but it slips down the priority list. So having a tool like ContentCal gives you the opportunity to do all of that planning side up front. So rather than just kind of thinking about it on your to-do list, to get a tweet out or get a Facebook post out at some point in the day, you can be more strategic and also save time. So if you think, ContentCal is essentially like a Excel spreadsheet-based planner that's integrated into your social. So meaning that, if, for example, if you're a small business owner, you think, all right, on a Monday morning, you can plan out all of your social content for the rest of the week. There might be certain events or product launches that you might want to plan out and get all of that done up front. Maybe spend 2 hours on a Monday morning planning out all of your social content, putting it into the calendar. So you can see, right, we've got all of these messages going out, and then you can basically set it and forget it. You can get back to running your business safe in the knowledge that content's going to be going out to support your messaging. You've got someone kind of doing that backup for you, social media marketing for you, because ultimately you've set it all up at the beginning of the week or beginning of the month, however you want to work, and can be a lot more strategic with it. So that's a nice way that a single person can use the planning capabilities within ContentCal. And then secondly, if you work in a team, one of the hardest things with social media is when you have a team involved. So many people have different views, there's many different stakeholders. You want to make sure the message is on brand, the tone of voice is right. So we've built in some collaboration tools to make it really simple. So rather than just having emails backwards and forwards about a tweet that's going out, you can see everything mapped out in the calendar. Everyone's got total transparency and visibility of that. There's commenting and collaboration in there. So the members of the team could say, actually, maybe this tweet should say this. So the whole team can come together. Yeah. And then there's approval workflows. If content needs to be signed off by more senior people, it's certainly more the case for the agencies we work with, because a lot of their clients want to sign things off before they go out. That kind of stuff just really helps raise the bar of your creative content. And as I often say this, but the best content's created together. So it makes sense when you've got a collaborative tool to help people understand exactly what's going out. People can put their ideas in and collaborate together. So that's probably a very long answer, Alan, so I apologize.
Yeah, no, totally. No, I would totally agree with you. We started using it here in the office, and what we found that is on a Monday morning we have our usual Monday morning meetings where we would actually go through what is going to be planned out for the following week, and we're able to then put it all into content and actually start working on that. So we're not sort of having meetings every 2 or 3 days, whereas we would be sending emails back and forth to each other, whereas now everyone's able to see exactly, right, Alan's doing this, Linda's doing this, so on and so forth. So it's amazing to be able to, have it all in one area. And then, of course, I'd like you to maybe talk a little bit as well about the campaigns where you can set up actual individual campaigns and you can work from there as well on them.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, I guess there's probably there's 3 planning tools within ContentCal that I think people really seem to see value in. I think that's probably where we really fit in a very busy market of social media technology. They're making it simple to create those good plans, just exactly as you said, Alan. The 3 planning tools, one is that campaign manager, as you mentioned. So having a visual representation in your calendar as to the things that you're working on every given day. So it helps keep you kind of focused. If you're working on a team, everyone knows what they need to do. If you're working individually, it's real clear to just set out your strategy in your calendar. And also in those campaigns, you could upload all of the images and videos and things that you want to use with the content that you're going to put in that campaign. So rather than having to find them in relevant files or go to Dropbox or Google Drive or wherever you store them. So you keep them in the calendar and you keep people just make it easier to create content because everything sits in the calendar. Now, one of the other planning tools, and possibly one of our customers' favorite features, is what we call the post backlog. We kind of think about this as like a pinboard for your ideas. And Alan, social, obviously we're and my background's a copywriter, but what I'd often find myself doing at some point, like within a day or when I'm about to turn out the light at night, I'd come up with a content idea and go, actually, that would be really nice to post for tomorrow. And by the time I've thought about it, I've gone to sleep and I've forgotten about that idea. So this kind of ideas pinboard just allows you to throw any idea you have onto the left-hand side of ContentCal, just on like this little pinboard. So if you're working individual, it's just a nice way to see all of your ideas that you might want to use at any point over the coming weeks or months. But if you're working in a team, it becomes super powerful because all of your team are putting the ideas in, you're putting the ideas in. You can see all of these on the left-hand side and always just have like a stream of inspiration. So if you think that's good, you can just, like with everything on ContentCal, you can just drag and drop it, move it onto a certain day, certain time, and get that published.
It is fantastic for the simple reason, like, as you say, you can, even if you wanted it at 11 o'clock at night, you say, oh my God, hold on, I had an idea. And then you can create it there and then literally drag and drop it onto the particular day that you want it on as well. It's so much, it's time saving, and it's also, it's you never forget something. You never forget it. And that's the beauty of, I think, the post backlog as well,
Exactly that. Yeah, I'm completely with you. The third and final planning tool is what we call like the placeholders. And this is really good. And I think this applies to a lot of like small business owners, because it's really hard to figure out what, if you're new into social, to figure out like what should I do, what should I say, what should I talk about? Because if you just go into social when you've just set up your channels and it just becomes a stream of like marketing messages or product related messages to say, hey, buy our product, or hey, we're doing this, whatever, your follower base is not going to grow. However, to grow a follower base, it's all about being relevant and being timely. And for anyone, whether it's a small business or a large business, everyone is so super busy and doesn't have enough time to spend their life like being reactive to social. So you need to plan ahead. So using these placeholders allows you to map out certain events that are happening. So maybe it's a national day, or maybe it's, a political event, or maybe whatever it may be. You can just kind of create these placeholders in the calendars, and they act as like visible reminders, like you would use your own personal work calendar, whether it's Outlook or, or Google Calendar. So kind of map out those things that you want to talk about, because then if something's happened that's relevant to your business, so maybe you're a local baker in Ireland, or bakery shop in Ireland, and it's the final of Great British Bake Off. You want to be putting out as much content as you can in that focused couple of hours, because you're going to use that hashtag of Great British Bake Off, for example, if that's watched quite heavily. And basically your content's going to get amplified dramatically within that short period of time. Planning just helps you take advantage of those timely opportunities.
Yeah, and I would totally agree with that, because like we often, when we be talking to clients, we always sort of set up our content plan, and what we say is okay, right, here are the main events. So you have, like, say for instance, you've Christmas, you've St. Patrick's Day, you've so on, you've so forth, you've all these things. And then, as you say, if there is a big event that's happening, whether it be the World Cup or the European Cups, or, around sport or whatever it may be, or as you said there, about, say, the Great British Bake Off, that it is fantastic. And to have a placeholder that reminds you is fantastic. And you'll be able to, as you say, spread your content at a huge, larger audience as well. So it definitely is a feature that I would agree totally with. And there's not a lot of the other scheduling tools that actually allow you to do that as well.
No, I think that's our key difference, really. That's our approach. I mean, coming from an agency background where we did content on behalf of others, that's the kind of real pain that we experienced. It would take us hours, about 4 hours a week, to do a content plan, because we'd have to create a content plan. We need to make sure we map out all of the things we're going to talk about, have other people review that, maybe approve the content. So for each individual client for each individual person within the agency, we save 4 hours a week by bringing in ContentCal, or by inventing ContentCal. So now we do the same for our customers. But yeah, I guess we're privileged in the sense that we built a product around our own needs, rather than, we're not technologists here, we're just social media people. Because now we built it around our own needs, it seems to fit quite a lot of how others work too.
Yeah, and as you say, it's a fairly young company, so it's evolving every day, and there's obviously you're looking at more different areas then that you can enhance, of course, the platform as well. Like I've seen like some of the updates in the last few weeks, and they are fantastic, and you say, oh look, that's new. It really is, and I think it's a constant thing that you're growing this platform every day.
That's exactly it. So And it's the thing. I mean, I make it sound all like wonderful. Starting this business has all been very smooth, but naturally we're in a very competitive market, and we do have our own differentiators, and as we've already explained. But naturally, lots of people have different opinions or different thoughts and ideas and suggestions. So we need to move quickly, because our desire is to make this the strongest content planning and organizational tool possible. So there's other things that people need. So people need more in-depth reporting. So that's fine. We're busy building that. People might need ability to improve the campaign management feature, or put more advanced features on that, as you mentioned earlier, like being able to drag and drop images and that kind of thing. All of that, I mean, that feedback is all so massively valuable to us, because we're taking this very seriously. This is the future of us. So it's great how quickly we've grown already, but you can never listen to customers enough, and ideally to build a company that's shaped around people's feedback, because really the social media professionals and small business owners that use our product, they're the ones that guide us, really. Yeah,
and of course, and that's it. And of course, when you have people on the ground that are doing this every day of the week, it really helps when they give the feedback and then they tell you, some of the options that we'd like to have. And it's a case of, you can look at it and say, right, okay, well, we need to be looking at this area as well. We seem to be getting a lot of feedback on a particular area. And that's, and when you're open to that, it just makes it so much easier, and it gets so much more activity then as well on it.
Exactly. I'm completely with you. Yeah.
With regards to say for instance, like we're talking about social media platforms, what social media platforms can you add on to ContentCal?
So you can publish from Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn and Instagram today. We're constantly adding some more. So Pinterest seems to have been, I have more people requesting Pinterest now than before, so we'll be adding that soon. And Google Plus is a bit of a funny one. It doesn't seem to go away, despite the fact not many people are using it. But
I think people are just afraid to let go of Google Plus. They just think, and there is some valuable information on it, but it's not as it wouldn't be as popular as opposed to Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and so forth. So I can still see the point of it there. I know I do like still going on to Google Plus every now and then, not very frequently, but I do go on to it. But that's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. And of course, you probably can start off with fairly small, and then as you see, your interest grown and that your business has grown, and you probably want to use it more and use the more features on it. You can probably go up to a higher version of it, or I suppose a paid version of it as well. So there's a lot of options there for you. So I would definitely be an advocate of it. And as Andy will say, and he will prove it, I am not affiliated at all, in no way, to ContentCal, but I just think it is a fantastic product, and I just think it is so time saving. It's such a fantastic way for you to get your content, and you can see it all in front of you, which is another part, because there's nothing as bad as having to come out of Facebook, go into Twitter, come out of Twitter, go into Instagram. It's all there. It's all in one place, one dashboard, and you can see everything that you're doing, and you can see what your team is doing. As Andy has said, you're able to put your ideas to the side on the backlog and then hold on to them and say, right, so you never forget anything.
Well, I don't think you needed me on this interview today, Alan, because you've articulated it far better than I have. So
No. There's nothing as nice as speaking to the man himself about it, because you know it more so than any of us, and it's been an absolute pleasure. So, Andy, tell me, how can people find ContentCal, and where can they talk to you? Even are you on with your website and Twitter and stuff like that? So maybe you might give us a little details on how they can get in contact with you.
Yeah, so website is ContentCal.io. So on there is you'll see a big button to get started for free. So we have a unlimited free account for one user. So if you're a small business owner, that'll be all you need, and you'll use it for free forever. So, which is always quite nice. If you need multiple users or more specifics, then there's, as you said, there's paid plans. But of course, I always love feedback, and I love talking to other fellow business owners or social media people. So I'm on Twitter, so feel free to tweet me at Andy_R_Lambert. So always happy to get feedback and chat there. Similarly, if you want to drop me an email as well for if you have any thoughts or questions or anything like that, I'm andy@ContentCal.io. But hopefully people like it, and if not, I'm always keen to hear feedback and that kind of thing. So as I said, my ears are always open. So yeah, really interested to see how we can make this into the finest social media planning and publishing tool.
We're not going to make it. It is going to be the finest social media platform. I love it. I love it. Okay. Right. Listen, Andy, thanks for joining us on the show today. I know you're very, very busy, and it was really, really good of you to take your time out of your day to come on and have a chat with us. So once again, thanks a lot, and we wish you every success with ContentCal. And I know I'll definitely be using it, and I'm sure some of our listeners will definitely be using it in the next few weeks. So watch out for them. And if you do actually go on and use ContentCal, make sure you let them know that you heard it on the Social Media Talks podcast and you listen to it. So, okay. So best of luck, Andy, and thanks very much for joining us again.
Thanks so much, Alan. Really appreciate it. Thank you.
Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
See you soon. Bye-bye.
So there you go, Andy from ContentCal, and talking all about a fantastic scheduling and posting tool for your social media. So as I said, check it out. It is ContentCal.io for more details. This has been Alan Hennessy for Social Media Talks, brought to you by Compass Media. And we just want to let you know that don't forget, if you do like the podcast, please do subscribe to them. You can also follow us on Twitter at Compass Media, and you can also find us on Facebook at compassmedia.ie. So until next time, have a great day, and don't forget to subscribe to our podcasts. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Social Media Talks podcast is a production from compassmedia.ie.